So, can you get really good photos and videos from a camera that is on your Apple Watch? Hey guys, Mike here from Envy Creative, and today we have a really unique product that we're going to talk about called the Wristcam. Now, this is a pretty new product to hit the market. It did come out maybe a couple years ago in kind of a closed beta, so they, I think, did have a Kickstarter for it, but basically they just kind of wanted to test the waters to see if this was something that people would actually use. And basically what it is it's a dual camera strap for your Apple Watch. You can see you have one camera right here in the front, and then you have one camera on the top there for selfie mode. And both of these cameras can do video and audio, and they can record actually up to 1080p. Now, what makes this unique is not only can you take photos on your Apple Watch, it doesn't actually use the internal Apple Watch memory, but it has an internal battery and also an internal memory of 8 gigabytes. So you can actually even have your Apple Watch off, and basically it doesn't really even use your Apple Watch at all. It connects to your phone when it's within range to transfer all the video and audio as well. But rather than just keep talking about it, we're actually going to put it to the test. We're going to show some real world uses about the video and audio as well. I'm going on vacation and I'm actually going to take this with me, so I'm going to get some good video and some good audio to show you guys as well. And cue travel montage. Okay, so hopefully this gets decent enough audio because I'm recording it on my phone right now with an external mic. But yeah, so I just wanted to go over a couple other things before I forgot with this Wristcam as I've been using it. So one thing that I noticed is the size. So this is what it looks like when it's not on the wrist. So as you can see, it is pretty small. There is a hard plastic interior which houses all the lenses and all the electronics. And what I noticed is that if you have really, really large wrists like me, then you can see that there is a little bit of a gap right here. So you really have to get your wristband really tight to be able to have it stay on your wrist in a comfortable position. Otherwise, it gets a little bit uncomfortable, but as long as you have small enough wrists, then it shouldn't be a problem. If you have big wrists like mine, then you probably don't want to wear it for, more than 8-12 hours. It might get a little uncomfortable. One thing that I found a little bit hard on this is that you're supposed to press and hold down this button right here. You can kind of see it raised. You're supposed to press and hold it down to turn it off. Let's see if I can do it right now. So you press and hold it, and it blinks blue, and then it counts down from yellow, and it kind of pulsates like that. So that is supposed to turn it off. I actually did have a chat with the co-founder of Wristcam about some of my feedback.
If it's been out of batteries and you put it on the charger, it may have disconnected from Bluetooth, but it's not unpaired. If you press it and hold it, and you start to go from the green to the blue to the yellow to the red, what you're actually doing is powering off and unpairing.
So is it in standby mode, or did it turn off?
No, you just turned it off. You don't even need to do any of that.
Now that I think of it, I think it's mainly because I'm treating it more as a camera that can go on your watch.
Think of it as AirPods. It's AirPods.
A little more time in Hawaii to test this out, and a little more test footage just out and about. And then once we're back in the studio, I'll actually get some more test footage in our normal testing environment, just for kind of the more professional test footage rather than just the out and about footage.
What was your experience like with Wristcam in the water?
So yeah, so I would say out of all the features that the Wristcam has, the in and out of the water experience was like, I would say that is probably the biggest selling point.
Again, still windy out. I'm using the front-facing camera, and I'm still standing behind the camera because you just kind of point the side of your wrist at where you're wanting to shoot.
The non-selfie camera, way better than I thought, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's a typical reaction. Trust me, it's been my reaction for years.
I am recording on the built-in microphone on the Wristcam. The not great, but again, this isn't meant for really high quality audio.
Okay, the self-facing,
Was almost inaudible.
you shouldn't have any of those issues. So there may be something I'd want to explore on it.
Okay, so I'm back from vacation and testing out the Wristcam out in real life, and I gotta say, it impressed me more than I thought, but it is good when it works. And what I mean by that is a few things. Some of these things are kind of hardware related, which I think could be fixed in a software update to the app and also a firmware update to the actual device. So really the only issues I had with it was regarding turning it off and on, because when it's actually just in standby mode, it doesn't really show any visible lights. It might show a little tiny light.
The plan is to spawn interest around current Apple Watch developers and even camera app developers who built for iPhone. Naturally, have been waiting for something to build on the watch itself.
So now that we're in a controlled studio environment, I'll show you some of the sample footage from our normal exterior and interior sample shots of outside and in the studio. One thing I also noticed about the front-facing selfie camera is it's really not that wide. I actually had to put my hand almost 2 feet away from me to be able to get my full self in frame. It would be really nice if it was a little bit wider so you didn't have to kind of be awkwardly putting your hand out this far just to get yourself in frame. I was actually really impressed by the front-facing camera on this. The quality is actually really decent even compared to cell phone cameras and other action cameras. Again, one of the main benefits to this over, say, an action camera is you can have it on your wrist, you don't have to carry it around in your pocket or have it mounted anywhere. It can just be there and ready to go when you need it. Real quick, guys, we work really hard on all these videos and we try to do a lot of research so that you guys can make informed decisions on certain products or services or whatnot. So just liking the video if you do like it and leaving a comment and subscribing really does help us a lot so that we can get these kind of videos to more people. So overall, with the Wristcam for the Apple Watch, I think it's pretty good, again, when it works. This is a semi-newer company, but it is pretty solid when it works and when it's charged. The front-facing camera, like I said, is the best feature about it, including the microphone with the front-facing camera. The selfie camera does need work in regards to how wide it is and the microphone, and there are some power issues, but like I said, when it works really well. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and if you have any questions about the Wristcam or anything involved in it, please leave a comment below, or if you have any comments about the Wristcam and what you think about it, you can leave those in the comments below as well, and we'll catch you on the next one.